recovered today. Everybody else should be available. We have Gibbs left behind on Saturday, who is available again, and Chamberlain is still out.
Alexis Sanchez?
Alexis Sanchez will have a test today. Yesterday it didn't look too good, but with him you never know. You know, he's so keen that maybe it was just a kick, so that could as well be possible. Maybe that he recovers for tomorrow.
Just on Alexis, he became the first player to record double figures for both goals and assists in the Premier League this season. I mean, we're running out of superlatives for him, aren't we? But just how integral is he to this team?
I think overall at the start he was a player mainly focused on scoring goals, and he developed his assist potential with us very well, and he plays now in a position where he can provide as well, he can score. So I believe he has become a complete player and developed very well here at Arsenal Football Club. And of course it's an exceptional achievement, and I would like to say that to score in double figures, to provide in double figures, is we need really to be a special player.
Arsene, can I just check, you said that Laurent Koscielny has a problem and Alexis Sanchez needs a test. What are their injuries?
Koscielny has a little recurrence of his calf problem that left him out against Southampton, and Alexis Sanchez a kick on his thigh.
Thank you. 2 matches to go. You are 3 points outside the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
How do you assess your chances of finishing?
Our chances is just to win our games. You know, we have 69 points. We can get to 75. That would be 4 points more than last year. So let's focus on finishing as well as we can. We have created a momentum again. We had a difficult period and we recovered from it. So overall, I think the only chance we have to be in the top 4 now is to win our games.
Is it a big ask, though?
Big ask is always to win, is always difficult, yes.
Realistically, are you outsiders for a top 4?
Yeah, we are mathematically, doesn't depend only on us, but the only influence we can have is to win our games.
You've won 3 in a row, one against Manchester United, one against Southampton, one against Stoke. How encouraged are you by that and the momentum that has given you?
I'm very positive because it looks like we get stronger in every single game. We had and against us the teams fight, you know, and we have to dig deep every time to win the games. So I believe that we won 6 of the last 7 games, and we have created the momentum again after having a period where away from home we were not stable. We look strong again. Now we won our last 3 away games, so it's positive.
Hector Bellerin, after the victory over Stoke, talked about the team's character. Is that something that, perhaps not just at the moment, but over the course of the season, has been lacking?
I wouldn't say that. I believe that the players have character, the players have spirit. You know, when you have gone through the period we have gone with such a hostile environment, you don't recover if you're not strong. And the players have been extremely strong to respond well the way we did. We lacked, as I said, repeated many times, defensive stability in some important games in the season, and I think we had to rethink completely the system. I had to make some changes, and overall we look more stable at the moment.
Over recent seasons, I mean, Arsenal have had a reputation for finishing strongly. Why do you think that is the case?
Because we do our job properly and we are focused until the end, and we are, as long as we are in competition we prepare the teams well, and that's why we were always finishing strong, because we kept our focus.
Would finishing outside the top 4 affect your plans for the summer?
I believe finish outside the top 4 will not have any influence on the way the club will be led and how we will behave on the transfer market.
And why are you sure about that?
I know where you want to lead me, but I cannot give you that indication. I just think that if we finish outside the top 4, we'll be down to 1 point maybe, and 1 point will be, of course, difficult to swallow, but that should not as well change completely the judgment on the quality of the team to a way where you think you have absolutely to change everything. It will mean just keep with the same focus to try to strengthen the squad. We know where it has to be, and that's what the club will have to do.
You know I have to ask you because we have to every time.
Yeah, I just answer. You don't have to.
Well, I do, because you might say, yes, I've decided and this is what I'm going to do. So, are you talking to the board? Do they know what you're planning?
I just focus on tomorrow's game.
Arsene, there is the possibility, a distinct possibility, that you could finish on 75 points and win the FA Cup. What would that mean to you then, given the sort of season that you've had?
Well, it would mean that the season has not been as well as I hoped at the start of the season, but as well.
Not as well.
Not as well as I hoped at the start of the season, because I started the season to win the Premiership, and when you don't do it, you're never completely satisfied, like everybody else certainly doesn't win it. But as well, not disastrous. So let's just. I think what is encouraging is that the way the team develops recently, and the way the ambition of the team is back, and overall I think it's difficult to get points in this league, and difficult for everybody.
You talk about the defensive qualities now being happier with. Is that the single reason why you've suddenly gone on this really good run that you've had, which perhaps wasn't there before?
Yes, we were quite strong until January, you know, and we had the blip after defensively. But I believe that in the difficult away games we suffered. We conceded too many goals. If you look well at our record, I think we have scored 72 goals, but we conceded over 40. That is too many goals conceded.
Morning, Arsene. You need other teams to slip up. How confident are you that Liverpool might slip up in their last game?
I'm confident or not, I don't know. I just think the problem is you face a problem in a different way. When you're manager, you want your team to give absolutely its best until the last second to have a chance, to have no regret. And that's what you do. You focus on your own team and hope that the results go for you at some stage. But you focus on just doing well.
So you don't look at the remaining fixtures and try?
No, not really, because some teams turn up, some teams are on holiday, so it's very difficult to plan. You know, you just want your team to do well and to focus completely until the last. I think to be professional is do your job properly until the last second of the season.
And how important is it for your team to take it to the last day of the season?
It is vital.
For the morale?
Just for the fact that we can look in the mirror and say we did it properly, you know, and that's for me absolutely vital. I work every day. Not to turn up halfway, to turn up properly and do my job properly. And if we don't have the results, I'm very disappointed. But what is not excusable is not to give your best.
You've said that this recent run shows that the players have shown unity together.
Yeah.
Do you think that unity was missing at any stage earlier?
No, I think no team is absolutely on the mental front and on the confidence front absolutely consistent from the first to the last day of the season. But so every team suffers a moment in the season, and when we suffered, I think we suffered a lot after we went out of the Champions League under very special circumstances, because you look at these two games, you take the first half, we were qualified, you know, so and it was very difficult to swallow for the team the way it happened, and it took us some time to recover, but when you're in a difficult period, you can be or divided or united, and I think we responded in a united way.
If you do go on to win the last two games and finish with 75 points, more points than last season, do you think that shows progress?
I don't want to go into conclusions too early, you know, but I think it shows that we have, if we can make 75 points, it's a decent total, because I won the championship with 78. But this season, it looks at the end of the season, many teams who have been assured to stay in the league have just released their focus, and as well that you had basically two leagues, the top six and the rest of the Premier League, and that everybody took points, too many points from lower teams that usually did not happen in the years before.
And with these last two games, are any of your players playing for their place at Arsenal in the future?
No, because we have nobody end of contract this season.
Arsene, just on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, has he got a chance for the weekend?
No.
What about the cup final?
The earliest chance he has is to be available for the cup final.
What kind of percentage would you give?
I would say it's 80-20.
And just on the system, the change to the three at the back, you said when you first brought it in that you thought about doing it earlier in the season. Could you tell us when that was and why you decided against it then? Because
we like to attack, and we have an offensive philosophy, you know, and that it's a bit more defensive minded, and as well because you were not completely sure that it could insecure the team a little bit when it was all going well. So overall, these are the main reasons. We had not especially the personnel as well available to do it at the time that we have now. And people like Rob Holding were still lacking experience. So these are the main reasons.
When did you sort of first start thinking about it?
I think in November.
And was that because Chelsea switched to it, a couple of other Tottenham were playing it? No,
not because of Chelsea, just because I felt that when you're such a long period on the bench, you feel that intense situation in top level games, sometimes you get away with it, with defensive insecurity because you score goals, and sometimes you smell as well that if it doesn't go well, if the confidence drops in some games, you can pay for it, you know.
A couple of the fan groups are talking about boycotting the game tomorrow. What would your message to them be?
My message is always the same, is to support the team.
I mean, the stadium hasn't been full for the last few games. Is that a concern to you at all?
Of course, because I think we are always sold out, so I don't know where you get that impression.
I mean, you must see there are empty seats in the stadium.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that we are not sold out.
But it's important that the fans stick with the team right to the end, isn't it? Because the top four race isn't over.
Of course.
Thank you.
Take the microphones out, please.